In the world of anime MCs, Eren Yeager is certainly one of the most polarizing. An abundance of supporters and critics fight hard for their Eren opinion to be the correct one, and really I am no different. It is no secret that I am in the Eren supporters camp, and in light of the second half of Season 4 airing, let's discuss what makes him such an interesting character. A couple of years ago, I discussed how Eren's change from a passive to active character is the crux of his brilliance. This isn't anything new in anime, certainly, but it really punctuates the narrative Isayama pushes. If Eren, right from the start, was active, I don't think the mystery elements of the series would have hit as hard, and certainly the political switch that encompasses the later arcs would have forced Eren to be an entirely different character without the switch from passive to active. Alongside his gained agency in the narrative, Eren's specific worldview may play the most important role in understanding his character. It may sound oversimplistic, but I think most great characters all share a defined worldview. Just like the people we meet day to day, the most interesting people always have a more defined understanding of what they believe, and it's no coincidence that the one constant throughout the entirety of Attack on Titan is Eren's worldview. We know right from the first episode that Eren thinks the world would be better if everyone fought back against the Titans, against whoever is holding humanity behind these walls. Since he is a human, he deserves, by right of birth, to have the chance to explore the rest of the world, and he will kill anything in his path that stops him from that. Isayama leverages the change in mood in Eren's character to highlight the stagnation of his worldview. As the state of the world beyond the walls gets revealed, Armin, Mikasa, Hanji, and Levi all try to change to the new circumstances of their situation. Having an initially defined worldview is not enough because you must evolve in the same way that the world does, and while Eren's personality evolves, the core of his worldview does not. Out of all of the different ways to read Eren's character, one that I haven't heard talked about as much is the way he embodies the people who fail to adapt to the changes in society. Eren is the literal embodiment of someone having their worldview defined with as limited of a perspective as possible. Eren has massive limitations at the start of the series in understanding how the world actually works, but that also doesn't mean that his concerns are invalid, far from it. Who cares if it is people or Titans that are oppressing him? He is oppressed and has every right to try and escape that oppression. But once the Eldians free themselves from the Titans' reign, Eren continues to seek out those who will harm him, Isayama raising the question of when is enough. Through the juxtaposition of Eren, who gains agency in the narrative but still keeps the same general worldview, it makes him hard post-time skip to define. And as we all know, Eren's shift from a goofy, outspoken kid to the harsh and punishing perpetrator of violence is one of the most satisfying developments in the series. Eren absorbs his previous experiences, and at the start of the 4th season, he turns into something that we could have never imagined. He doesn't care about Armin and Mikasa and will do almost anything to fulfill his wish. Eren in the first 3 seasons would never have put his friends at risk, but now he doesn't seem to care. He will do anything to achieve freedom for the Eldians. Now, I have to go into full spoilers for the rest of the series, so anime onlys, come back and watch this video once the finale is finished airing. Eren's journey to becoming a perpetrator of violence highlights the idea of freedom above any costs. With the freedom Eren acquires through the strength given to him by Grisha, Eren slaughters almost all of humanity. Eren is held down by his worldview that he crafted at such a young age. And that is what makes Eren in the final chapter so heartbreaking. He always wanted to stay with Mikasa, Armin, and his loved ones, but his unchangeable worldview would never allow that to be a reality. No matter how much freedom he got, no matter how many enemies he defeated, it was never going to be enough. If we cannot learn to evolve our own perspectives and adapt to changing situations, then inevitably we will bring everything to ruin. Eren recognized the horrible things he was going to do and broke down under the thought of killing millions of people, and yet his adherence to his worldview forces him to follow through on the heinous act. And in the end, the cycle of violence that he thought he destroyed still looms in the shadows as humanity continues to progress. And the juxtaposition and duality of Eren's character, someone who is always progressing but his worldview stays stagnant, where the perpetrator who has caused so much violence in the recent chapters and episodes of Attack on Titan, all of a sudden becomes a scared boy again, which is perfectly highlighted through Armin and Eren's conversation in the final chapter. Eren's nuance can be read in many different ways, but I think the focus on worldview and how we often box ourselves into those narrow perspectives help us understand Eren's want to stay with Mikasa, but the ultimate decision to continue with the rumbling. Isayama used his main character as the linchpin for the idea of how the cycle of oppression and violence continues, and how Eren and his goal of killing every last Titan kept him in that cycle. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be more Attack on Titan videos coming out as the final season is wrapping up. I've been waiting since 2014 to see this anime wrap up, so it's been really cool to see it go weekly. So let me know, what are your thoughts on the new season? How have you thought about Mappa's adaptation so far? Make sure to follow me on Twitter, and I will be posting about each episode individually on Twitter, so make sure to go there and we can talk about the new episodes. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.